boys they struggled. They really had a hard time. They set that course up so hard.
Call the regular city council meeting Monday, July 29th, 2013 to order. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Here.
Ferrari.
Here.
Waldorf. Lukosius.
Here.
Perez.
Here.
Radke.
Here.
Mueller.
Here.
Sapienza.
Here.
Mayor Harrell.
Here. Pledge of allegiance. Presentations,
Nothing, Your Honor.
public comment.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Do we have a motion to receive the regular meeting minutes of July 15th, 2013 and place on file?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Ferrari to receive the regular meeting minutes of July 15th, 2013 and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Do we have a motion to receive the Treasurer's Report for June 2013, City Clerk's Report for June 2013, General Fund and Miscellaneous Funds Report for June 2013, Sales, Home Rule, and Telecommunication Tax Receipt for April 2013, and place on file?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke, to receive the reports and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. We'll move to committee reports. Council and Finance, Alderman Putoff, Alderman Radke.
Yes, Your Honor. To the council, I'd like to enlighten us that our disbursements for July 31st of 2013 is $2,791,076.15. I'll make a motion to be placed on file, the bills paid in the usual manner.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke, to receive the disbursements for July 31st, 2013 and place on file, and the bills paid in the usual manner. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, other items from the Finance Committee, we had a presentation and a long discussion from Bob Vickery regarding development happening in Peru, and also a lot of discussion about potential and future development. I thought the meeting was very good. We were well informed, and there's really some exciting happenings down the road for Peru. And that's both from a retail and industrial standpoint, and that was pleasant to see. Alderman Radke, did you have anything else to add from Finance?
No, I think you covered it.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Public Works, Alderman Waldorf, Alderman Lukosius.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to start out the Public Works Committee report tonight by calling on Mike Perry to give us an update on the flood response.
Yes, Alderman Lukosius. I did sit down with Heidi Addis earlier today to get caught up on paperwork and what response she has had. As you all know, we had a minimum of 68 homes that were impacted by the April 18th flood and sanitary sewer surcharge event that backed up into many basements. We estimate there are probably between 70 to 90 homes, because we do know of homes that did not come in and document their backup, but we've heard from neighbors that there were others that didn't get documented. Of those 68 homes that came in and filled out the incident investigation report, we visited basically all of those homes at this point. Recommended solutions led to the participation agreement with the city. 5 homes have now completed their necessary repairs, the separation of the footing tiles from the sanitary, and the installation of some protection, be it a ejector pit system or a combination check and backflow valve to protect their lower basement level from any future sanitary backup. 5 homes are completely done and have been recommended and forwarded to Clerk Bartley's office for reimbursement, totaling $9,203 in reimbursements that have either gone out or pending to go out, perhaps in even tonight's checklist. There are additionally 22 homes that are currently in some stage of making the improvements and the repairs. So at this point, we anticipate in this first wave or first phase, it looks like we're going to hit about 30 of the 68 people that did document their sewer backup. And we're certainly hoping to keep the word out because as you all know, you approved reimbursement for 100 homes this first year. So we're hoping folks will follow up and pursue an action plan to correct and remedy both of those issues.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any other question for Mike in regard to the flood response? Okay, move on. I'll give the electric financial report for June of 2013. During this period, we showed revenues under expenditures by $78,802.63. I'd like to make a motion that we receive this report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Farry, to receive the electric financial report for June 2013, placed on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Next, I have the water and sewer financial report for June of 2013. And during this period, we showed a revenue over expenditures by $55,535.30. I'd like to make a motion that we accept this report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Farry, to receive the water and sewer financial report for June 2013, placed on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Next, I'd like to make a motion to approve the change order in the amount of $4,847.50 and the final pay request of $9,964.90 to Bain Brothers for the powerhouse demolition.
I will second that too, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Farry, to approve the change order in the amount of $4,847.50 and final pay request of $9,964.90 to Bain Brothers for powerhouse demolition. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Your Honor, we had a change order about a month ago. What's this one for?
Mike, would you like to handle that?
Yes, sir. Yes, Alderman Perez, the original change order, the first change order that you're referring to was in the amount of $11,422.75. That was for additional trucking only above the contract quantity of $7,500 for transportation of salvage steel from the site to the salvage yard. This final change order for the additional $4,847.50 was for two items. One was the EPA came in after the contract was let, as you might recall, and required the contractor to transport all lead contaminated site material instead of to Bames Pit to actually to the licensed landfill in Ottawa. So the city and Chamberlain on the city's behalf and through Public Works Committee negotiated the additional trucking for all of that material that had to go through the landfill was struck at a very, very reasonable incremental cost. All the trucking ended up at $2,660 for that additional round trip from Bames site to the Ottawa landfill. And then the final amount of that $4,000 change from tonight is $2,187.50. There's a large void area underneath the south pumping station. They're the last building to come down recently, and it was inaccessible during the bidding process. So when they got in, the city provided material, loaded material, and Bain provided just trucking of that material and placement, again for $2,187.50.
Okay, thank you. Just one last thing. When we made the original motion for demolition, we had some closed session discussions, and I voted nay for that motion, and along with the last change order. So I'll just stand my ground on this one also. So that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Farry, to approve the change order. If there's no further discussion, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Nay.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Next, I'd like to make a motion to authorize John Pohar and Sons to complete work on the Brewster Street reconstruction in the amount of $27,138.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Sapienza, to authorize John Pohar and Sons to complete work on Brewster Street reconstruction in the amount of $27,138. Is there any discussion?
Can you just explain what this is all about? I mean,
Mike, do you want to take this?
Absolutely.
I could, but Mike can do a much better job than I can.
There's been a very long-standing problem. In fact, I'm sure Public Works Director Bleck can go back 30 or 40 years of washout, the incident of washout down on Brewster Street just east of Putnam. And we're losing the south bank of that and part of the road pavement which serves a couple homes back there at the end of Brewster. And so what this does is restabilizes that bank. It provides properly sized drainage to take water that comes down the hill from the north, gets that underneath the roadway as opposed to over the top of the roadway, stabilizes and actually then repaves about 150 feet of that roadway is included in this bid to provide proper drainage, a new curb and gutter, some curb and gutter coming out, a larger high-capacity inlet. So it's a pretty major reconstruction of that area to finally, hopefully once and for all, eliminate the ongoing maintenance that we've been occurring year after year.
So that's the part that says to complete. That was the maintenance at the city. That's the part that's confusing me. We never worked on this, right? It's a new project?
Well, we've probably worked on it every year for...
So the city has, in other words. Okay,
Correct.
so that's where the complete part comes in.
Yeah, that's been a yearly maintenance since I can remember.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will be the solution now.
I can verify that, being in that area for many years. You're constantly, the pavement is destroyed, everything surrounding it, so it has been a long-term problem. I'm just very surprised that for $27,000 that we'll be able to fix the problem as long as it has lasted. I'll be surprised.
I was just thinking that maybe somebody started this project, some outfit, and then took off on us or something, but that's not this. Okay, thank you.
That was my concern, was the 27,000. This is next to Gingrich, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because we've been trying to get that work done for quite a while. And when Mike was up there, Mike Ricchetta, he looked at it last year, and it sure seemed like it was going to be a lot more of an expensive a project to get that done, to get the water to flow down that hill and underneath that road there, because it was deteriorating so bad. And so that's going to alleviate, or hopefully alleviate, all that problem?
Yes. And we did get three different bids on the
We
project.
had 3 bids, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. They'll be happy.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Lukosha, second by Alderman Sapienza, to authorize the Brewster Street reconstruction in the amount of $27,138. If there's no further discussion, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to award the bid for the 2013 pavement preservation project to the lowest bidder, AC Pavement Striping, in the amount of $141,274.99.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosha, second by Alderman Radke, to award the bid for the 2013 pavement preservation project to the lowest bidder, AC Pavement Striping, in the amount of $141,274.99. Is there any discussion?
This will be mainly focused on, I think, Shooting Park.
Correct. Shooting Park from Church to Peoria, which will be the west portion of Shooting Park that either was not touched in the last year with your joint project with the township and/or your street maintenance on the east end of Shooting Park. And then next January, IDOT is intending to bid Shooting Park from Peoria back to Pulaski as part of your STU project at an estimate of about $750,000. So the entire stretch, along with this project, will complete Shooting Park. And then in addition, there is work up on Winslow Road from Peoria back to 251 in front of the old Kmart. Progress Boulevard is getting some crack sealing, and then a couple neighborhood streets.
There were other bids on this, weren't there?
Yes, there were.
Okay.
There was one other bid.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Lukosha, second by Alderman Radke, to award the bid for the 2013 pavement preservation project. Is there any further questions? If not, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize Chamlin and Associates to seek bids for IEMA flood response sewer repairs at Centennial Park area and Water Street area.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosha, who's second? second by Alderman Radke, to authorize Chapman Associates to seek bids for IEMA flood response sewer repairs at Centennial Park area and Water Street. Is there any discussion?
I'd just like to call on Mike again to kind of highlight the IEMA project here.
Absolutely, Alderman Lukosius, and it feels like a kind of a night of good news. This is probably the best news I think we got last week. We did meet with IEMA representatives. One was from California, out near, I think, Stanford, and the other gentleman was Southern Illinois. But in addition to approximately $200,000 of reimbursement from the flood response in those first couple weeks, we also got preliminary approval of approximately $200,000 to, first of all, repair various sanitary sewers up in the Centennial Park area that experienced the sags and settlement, one of which collapsed just east of Plum, which right behind Mr. Lucas's home, that led to the major basement flooding. And then there are other sections of sewer up in that area that have sags. So $200,000 will go towards repairing those sections of the sanitary, which again was part of the problem with water not getting out of the St. John's area. Additionally, we have had severe settlement on Water Street, sanitary sewer, and the water main hasn't snapped, but anyone driving down on Water Street just east of the old power plant has experienced the pavement settlement dip, and that repair is estimated at $500,000. And they've again given preliminary approval as a response to this flood to get those funded, and they're looking for firm bids with contractors.
Yeah, that's definitely welcome news.
This was something we put in place right after the flood. Started talking with them, and it finally came to where it's at now. That was pretty good news.
And then the other event related to that is we are putting in three pre-applications this Wednesday for other funding that came out of this flood event, was the hazard mitigation grant opportunities. And we're going to be putting in for significant money, hundreds, probably close to $500,000 for two different projects. One to have a permanent structure to protect the east wastewater plant, and then a permanent flood structure wall to protect the substation and diesel and jet engines. And from what we're hearing, not a lot of people are putting in for those, so we're somewhat optimistic that we'll at least get heard. And then the third project will be the replacement of the 8-inch sanitary sewer on 28th Street from Debo Drive back to Marquette Road.
Very good.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Radke, to authorize Chapman Associates to seek bids for IEMA flood response sewer repairs, Centennial Park, and Water Street. If there's no further discussion, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to accept the low bid for road salt from North American Salt at $42.78 per ton.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Radke, to accept the low bid for road salt from North American Salt for $42.78 per ton. And that's down from what, Gary?
We were right around the 54 last year, 53.50, 54, right in there, and that's what it's been for the last few years. This is the lowest I've seen it, probably the last 10.
Okay, is there any questions? If not, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved. Treasurer Hyla, back to the $141,274.99. We're going to pay for that how?
Those funds will be coming out of the road and bridge money that we receive from the township every year. It will be used for that particular project.
Okay. So you have the funds available, you're going to write a check. Okay. Anything further, Public Works?
Yes, Your Honor, as long as we're on a roll here.
Spending money. Thanks, Jim.
Our Area 1 sewer separation update, we've had the pre-construction meeting, Mike. Do we have anything to add to that?
The contractor's anxious to get started. He's indicated he'd like to get started by mid-August. He needs good dry weather because of the location of that project. He's going through his material submittal phase of the project right now, submitting all the equipment that he, intends to use and materials. So as soon as he's done in that stage, we expect to see construction again about the middle of August.
Okay, very good. In regard to the Manor Court water main loop, now, we've kind of determined that we're not going to be able to do that this year, but we're going to try to get it in the budget for next year.
Yeah, we did lay out a plan for that work. It would loop internal to the court, and it would also include a storm inlet at the east end of that cul-de-sac, bringing back to the main roadway, and resurfacing that entire cul-de-sac. It came out at an estimate of about $89,000. So we did review that with Treasurer Hyla, and I think his recommendation is to budget for next fiscal year.
And the reason that we're doing it in the road is we cannot get an easement? Is that the...
Correct. My understanding is we would need 3 property owners to participate in fairly tight easements in side yards, and with other utilities and landscaping concerns, they're just
not willing.
Correct.
Well, we were talking about running a water main, I think, within about 5 or 10 feet of someone's home. So, if every water break, you're talking about digging up within 5 to 10 foot of someone's house, so that you can understand why they'd be a little cautious to grant that.
Okay, and the street program, can you give us a status report on both the street program and the MFT?
Yeah, both projects are winding down. And if you've driven around, the roads actually look great. A lot of good work done this year. Combined, both projects are coming in a total of about $30,000 under the bid amount, which was under the estimate, I think, by about $80,000 to $100,000. So financially, we're in great shape on the projects. There is some patching that was included here at the end of the project on 5th, 6th, and 7th between Church and Cross, and then 8th and 9th at a couple different locations to try to eliminate some standing water on the pavement. And other than those patches, things are wrapping up.
Okay, very good. And the last thing that I have is I'd just like to make the announcement that we finally got on our sidewalk program and have almost completed the first project down at Calhoun and Market Street. And I want to make an announcement and a reminder to people if they're interested in putting in for sidewalk repairs or replacement of sidewalk, that they have to do it in writing, and then the Public Works Committee, along with other people, will go down and look at their situation and try to determine whether it's warranted. That's all I have.
Okay. Public Health and Safety, Alderman Ferrari, Alderman Sapienza.
Your Honor, I have the fire report for the pay period ending July 20th, 2013. Crew Fire Department received and responded to a total of 8 fire calls for that pay period, for a total of $2,344.44. I'd like to make a motion to accept this and put it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Sapienza, second by Alderman Ferrari, to receive the Crew Fire Department report for period ending July 20, 2013, and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Your Honor, we have no other reports. Chief Burnaby, anything? Chief King? Okay, that's it.
Public Property, Alderman Perez, Alderman Mueller.
Yes, Your Honor, we have no report at this time. We did have a committee meeting this evening. We discussed some unfinished business. One of the things that we did discuss was the cutting of the grass at the Howard Johnsons. And I have a question. We've been having to hire out other companies to go out and cut grass that we can't get the property owners to do to get cut. So we've been paying, other services to do that for us. Are we actually billing out and receiving, like property owners? Howard Johnson's are the owner of that property, or even residential property where it may be dilapidated or no one's living there. Do we actually send the bills out and bill them and receive something back?
We do, Alderman Perez. Well, we have a responsible party that we can bill. We do, and where we don't, we put a lien on the property.
Thank you. I have nothing further. Alderman Mueller.
Nothing.
Okay, report city attorney, ordinances, resolutions.
Yes, there was a joint hearing before the Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals on petition of Mark Smith concerning property at 2227 4th Street, seeking continuation of a nonconforming use for his residential structure and variances to improve a deck and add a deck around the property. Plan Commission members Atkinson, Peterstedt, May, Stewart, Basali, and Ballard are present in the hearing. Grabowski, Mullen, Harrington, and Benvenuti were absent. Zoning Board of Appeals members Peterstedt, Brining, Atkinson, and Wujek were present. Miller, Harrington, and Gans were absent. The zoning officer, Frank Taylor, stated he would have granted administrative variances for the property, but is otherwise located in B4 Highway Business District, and therefore administrative variances cannot be granted, and a hearing was required. Mr. Taylor stated the petitioner just desired to extend the existing deck on the east side of the residence, construct a new deck at the rear of the residence. Petitioner purchased the property in foreclosure and otherwise has been making substantial improvements to the residence, which is a benefit to the city. All of the structures on the block are otherwise residential. Member Atkinson stated that all of the structures on the block are otherwise non-conforming residential structures, and such use should be continued for the subject property. The improvements being made by the petitioner to the residents are a benefit to the neighborhood and the city. The zoning officer stated the variances appear to be substantial because the property is otherwise located in a B4 Highway Business District, but if the property was in a residential district, most of the variances would otherwise not be required. No objectors present in the hearing. Stewart moved. Peterstedt seconded. The Plan Commission favorably recommend continuation of a non-conforming use as a residential structure, passed unanimously. Zoning Board Appeals member Wujek moved, Brining seconded. The variances requested be favorably recommended, passed unanimously.
Do we have a motion to receive the minutes and place on file?
So moved, Your Honor. Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Lukosius to receive the minutes of the Joint Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals and place on file. Is there any discussion? Over roll call vote, clerk call roll. Well, we'll just do that by, all in favor by aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
An appropriate ordinance, be it ordained, property is allowed to continue as non-conforming residential use and structure after completion of the proposed deck improvements, which property is otherwise described as Lot 6 and Block 23 in Whitehead's addition in the city of Peru. Property is granted the following variances. South front yard setback is reduced to 10 feet, east side yard to 4 feet, west side yard to 8 feet, minimum lot width to 60 feet, minimum lot area to 7,500 square feet.
Do we have a motion to pass the ordinance as written and read?
So moved, Your Honor. Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Lukosius to receive and pass the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Motion approved.
The next is an ordinance amending ordinance 5004 entitled An Ordinance Fixing Wages for the Employees of the City of Peru. Whereas the City Council finds and determines that it's the best interest of the city to employ a public works city engineer, and as such it is necessary to have a wage classification for said employee. And the City Council of the city finds and determines it is the best interest of the city to employ a budget officer, and as such it is necessary to have a wage classification for said employee, which are attached in Exhibit A. This is obviously just finalizing and cleaning up for the new Public Works City Engineer, and also including our budget officer classification into our wage ordinance, which was left off when we last revised it.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion that the ordinance be adopted as written and read.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke to adopt the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Next, we have an ordinance authorizing execution of a collective bargaining agreement between the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 150, for the period of May 1st, 2013 through April 30th, 2017.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the ordinance as written and read.
Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke, to adopt the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor, I might want to highlight a few items in the ordinance and also inform the council and the public that at each of these items, the City Council was involved and had input from each and every alderman that was elected. So this was a collective process that worked with Local 150. Some of the highlights: the health insurance cost for employees will raise from 10 to 15%. That will be effective January 1st. Employees will be required to have a CDL license, and that will be on December 31st. There's a training program that will be set up for classification of the employees, meaning that the employee must obtain the proper training and certificate for the classification. This also eliminates longevity for new hirees. It includes a 2% wage increase for each year of the contract, in which a contract goes from May 1st, 2013 to April 30th of 2017.
Second, if I didn't do that already.
We have a motion and a second to receive the ordinance and adopt as written and read. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, Sean, I'd just like to point out on page 23, section 14.2, under the CDL license, as I was reading that over, I think it should state whether that's a CDL Class A or B. It doesn't state either one. And I think highlighting in which Class CDL that they need is important, because a Class A takes a lot more requirements and background fingerprinting and all that with a Class A, Class B that doesn't require. Also, the Class B, one of the things that's not mentioned in here, I believe our snow plow trucks, are they over 10,000 pounds? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because with that too, we should also maybe highlight in this that they will need a medical card for a Class B. Driving anything over 10,001 pounds requires a medical card on top of that Class B. And the closest driving facility, I know that we have in here that the city pays to renew their license and stuff like that. Does it also include the closest driving facility that we have is in Princeton for a CDL? And will that also include them taking a vehicle to get their driver's license, along with any other testing that we have? That includes all of that, correct?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Gary, most of our employees already have a CDL. This just clarifies it, so we would essentially just continue with past practice on what type of CDLs we require.
That's right. We just got a couple more to get them, and then everybody is qualified.
For new hires, would we expect them to have a Class B, or would we hire someone and then send them through the training and all that to get that license?
It would be nice if they came in with a Class B, but odds are they won't, so if they do get hired, they are required to have it.
6 months from the date this is adopted, everyone's going to have one, so new hires will have to have one.
Correct.
And
It won't be you're hired and then you...
That's law. I believe every one of your employees should have met. I have one with a B license.
Okay. I just want to make sure that the employees were clear of that they have to go through and get that medical card too. There are just so many different standards and rules that play in once you have that CDL. For example, if all companies, because it is the law, if somebody goes and tries to get a CDL and they have any kind of certain records on their, say for example, if somebody has a DUI, they can't get that CDL. So I just want to make sure that all that's covered with our employees.
Alderman Perez, I might make note that the employees have signed off, their union representative has, And for basis, I don't know if they understand or not, but these are the terms. The CDL will be required. And
I understand where Alderman's coming from, a B license, that's what, we don't have any tractor trailers in the city, so.
Right.
I don't know if it's an issue or not, really.
I don't foresee ever having a tractor trailer either.
I just want to make it clear that the employees know and that we understand that there's different CDL classifications and what endorsements that they need to carry that Class B with the medical card and all that. That's the only thing I wanted to make sure that we had clear. If
Well-
we say we do, then we do.
Won't in a contract like this, if it's not covered somehow within the contract, go by past practice? Won't that
Yeah,
be?
correct, and we can't have a contract that supersedes law, so if the law requires a certain CDL, then this contract cannot require a different one.
Yeah, if somebody's driving a truck that requires a different certificate to do it, you can't. That's the law.
That's right.
Yeah.
We cannot supersede that.
Okay. That's all I have. I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke. If there's no further discussion, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff. Aye. Ferrari. Aye. Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke. Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Now, the next two ordinances were prepared with the assistance of Attorney Pat Berry, that was working with the city on the American Nickeloid matter. So the first ordinance is an ordinance authorizing execution of a utility service agreement with American Nickeloid. Whereas the City of Peru, an Illinois Home Rule Municipal Corporation, has negotiated an agreement with American Nickeloid Company concerning a utility service agreement for and in consideration of mutual covenants contained herein. And the City Council of the city finds and determines that it is in the best interest of the city to execute said agreement to promote economic growth and development. And the city finds that entering into said agreement with American Nickeloid is a matter pertaining to the government and affairs of the city and is a proper public purpose and is in the best interest of the city. The mayor and city clerk of the city, on behalf, are authorized and directed to execute the utility service agreement with American Nickeloid. A copy of the agreement is attached hereto and made part hereof.
Do we have a motion to approve the ordinance as written and read?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Radke to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion?
I'd just like to thank you and Jim Putoff, Pat Berry also, for negotiating a long time to get to this agreement. So I think it's a good agreement for the city.
This wasn't too bad when it took about 23 months. So if there's no further discussion, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Motion approved.
The next ordinance is an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances, Article 5, Electric Service. And of note in this ordinance change is Section 114-364, Economic Development Rate. The total monthly electric charges shall be capped and not exceed 10 cents per kilowatt for all electricity sold to such economic development customers being served under said economic development rate from the effective date of this ordinance until July 31st, 2014. So this is extending the 10-cent cap for one more year for the economic development rate classification.
Do we have a motion to accept the ordinance as written and read?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Putoff to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari. Lukosius. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved. Okay, unfinished business. Do you have any unfinished business? None? New business, I'll table the IVCC building fund. And what do you have,
I'd like a motion to communicate. It's a motion to close Fulton Streets for the Maud Paul Arts Festival. If we could get a motion in a second.
I'll make that a motion.
Second.
have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Radke to close Fulton Street between 4th and 5th on Saturday, August 17th for the Maud Powell Arts Celebration. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Proclamations,
No proclamations, Your Honor.
petitions, communications.
We have a communication from Casey's General Store requesting annexation of property located at 2950 4th Street.
Your Honor.
That would be referred to the Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals because variances are also requested.
I'll make a motion that this be referred to the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Lukosius to receive the communication from Casey General Store requesting annexation of property located at 2950 4th Street and present it to the Planning and Zoning for review and recommendation. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
We have a communication from Fran Brawley requesting permission to host a 2-on-2 invitational basketball tournament at Sunset Park from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. this Sunday, August the 4th.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion that we do allow this, but I wanted to point out in the future, and I'm making that motion because it is August 4th, but in the future that these reservations for ball fields or basketball fields be referred to the scheduling of the park board. So I will make this motion on this occasion because it is a pretty close proximity to the event.
Second that, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Lukosius to receive the communication, place on file, and grant permission. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
We have a communication from the Illinois Valley Animal Rescue, and they'd like to hold their annual Pet Fest at Baker Lake on Sunday, October the 20th. So we'd be granting permission to allow dogs in the park in addition to hosting that event.
Your Honor, it's something we've always approved. I'll make a motion we approve it again.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Mueller to receive the communication from Illinois Valley Animal Rescue for their Pet Fest in Baker Lake, which that's been going on for quite a few years now. So all in favor, is there any discussion on that? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Your Honor, two other notes, one of which is this is the final week for the shopper bus. It's been a service that's been provided to the Peru residents, at one time shared with our neighbors in LaSalle, and it will end at the end of this week, and we'll be turning over the services to the North Central Area Transit Authority, and this is a program that's been being worked on over the last couple of years and is in place now. It gives the residents an opportunity to use a more taxi-oriented transit system. And there's a couple of numbers they can call. We've got it out to the press, and anybody can call the city clerk's office for referral. But residents will be able to call and make arrangements for transportation direct, and the service will be provided a little bit longer hours than our service has, and every day of the week. So we're sorry to see the service go. It's been a good service, but this hopefully will serve the residents that have used it in the past even better.
Well, this is Central Region Senior Baseball Tournament starts. I have to give Oglesby and Mayor Don Finley a hand. They did the footwork on this, and they've done quite a bit of it to have this to have this happening. It's going to be in Oglesby, it's going to be in Peru. There's 10 states represented. This coming, starting Friday, will be the opening ceremonies in Oglesby with 10 states. That's quite impressive. There's 5 games a day, starting Saturday, August 3rd through Tuesday, August 6th, and that will be held in Peru, in Oglesby. Game times 2 o'clock, 4:30, and 7 o'clock. And the championship games will be played. The championship game will be played in Peru on Wednesday the 7th at 7 o'clock. So Peru will be represented with their team, and it's quite impressive to have 10 states coming in for this. That's be a nice time. Parks look great, and be a lot of good baseball. So if anybody has time to go over to the opening ceremonies Friday night, they have a parade, and then the actual opening ceremony will probably be around 6 o'clock, I'm told. So once again, thanks to the City of Oglesby and Mayor Finley for doing the footwork and putting this together. Anything else?
Your Honor, I did have one item. There's 2 gas stations, particularly in the west end of town, both the Marathon Oil and the Ilco, which is the gas station was on the furthest end. I'd like to see Frank Taylor's office and the city attorney put some pressure on these properties to really clean them up. And, you know, we really need some type of economic development in those areas. If those gas stations are going to stay empty and we continue to have them falling apart, it limits our downtown. So if we can, is to review those and put some particular pressure on those property owners to address those situations as quickly as possible. Can we do that?
Well, actually, the bank called last Thursday or Friday for the Marathon. Want to know if the city wanted to buy it. So I let the Economic Development Director, Mr. Vickery, talk to him. I don't know what the outcome was, but they're wanting to sell it, but now we have the responsible party. We have the name, and we'll have to follow through with that. On the west end, from what I understand, maybe you can correct me, Frank, their asking price for rent is so high. They've had inquiries, but their rent's so high they're just not able to rent it out.
Well, I'm happy that the responsible parties have come forward with an offer, so at least we know now who the responsible parties are, and if we can exert a little pressure on that to get those places filled or get those places gone, I think it would certainly be advantageous for us.
Okay. Public comment. Do we have any public comment? Any public comment? None? Okay. I'm going to ask for a motion to retire from open meeting into closed session. We need to discuss meetings where the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body is considered, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired, meetings where setting of the price for sale or lease of real estate owned by the public body is being considered, and meetings held to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee or legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Radke, second by Alderman Putoff. Lukosius. Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari. Aye. Waldorf. Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Yeah, I like.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Ferrari and a second by
Alderman Radke.
Alderman Radke to return to open meeting from closed session. We'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller. Sapienza.
Aye.
Motion approved. We're back in open session.
Oh, I want to get some feedback on trying to go paperless. What are you guys' opinions on that?
I'm all for it.
Second?
Okay, well, it's seconding also, it also is an expense whether we go in the direction of an iPad or the direction of a laptop. And then I would email the electronic packets out, and then we could make the electronic packets available to the media as well to eliminate the copying, and we even have a patrolman that delivers them all to your house.
I don't know if anybody cares, but if you want to put some options together and bring it next finance committee meeting, we'll look it over, unless anybody else wants to take it on.
I think you guys should handle it.
Well, I'd like to get started on it. You look at the packet this week.
This is probably one of the bigger ones we've had in a while.
It's crazy. Plus, then the amount of time spent in the clerk's office. You know, Clerk Bartley realizes it because he had to put the last packet together, and it's very time consuming. So you have an employee at the copy machine. We're burning up cases and cases of copy paper and ink. You know, and then, as we said, we have patrolmen out on the street delivering them. I think it's time to move. Well,
And we're saving trees.
The public can look it up online, and if they don't have that capability, they can request for a printout, and then we can give them a paper printout by request only. Otherwise, it won't be there. So that's the way I would look at it.
I think it's long overdue.
Okay, we'll look at it. We have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by
Second.
Alderman Ferrari.
all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.